Okay. Scottie, we talked about the wind being difficult yesterday. It was much more difficult today. How tough was it figuring out which direction? Because there were times it looked like it changed in a second.
Yeah, it was pretty swirly out there at times. Definitely was the most challenging aspect of today. But I felt like we did a pretty good job of managing that overall and posted a decent score.
And it certainly did that. A lot of our listeners, they have a nemesis hole. I don't want to call 17 that yet because it's still early in the tournament. But will you look at how you approached it up at tee? Will you look to change that at all?
I'll try not to get a wind gust on the tee shot today. I hit a perfect shot there that was basically going to land right on our target line, and somehow the ball actually was slicing and it almost went back the other direction. So, it's just one of the things that happens out there.
Certainly. But you got to feel good in the position you're at right now.
Yeah, if I could just somehow figure out, how to par 17. If only I knew how to do it, If only.
Well, I know you know how to birdie it, Scotty. So thanks for your time. Good luck tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks, Ken. Appreciate it. Thanks, brother.
Yeah. And then, Scotty, what did you feel good about from your round today?
I played really nice again today. I bogeyed 6 early. I had a weird line the second shot, and I kind of chunked it. And then after that, I hit pretty much each shot the way I wanted to. Just didn't get the results from it. But outside of that, I felt like I played pretty well. It was very challenging out there with the wind gusts.
When you're playing in the wind, you're obviously playing the wind a lot down in Dallas. What do you focus on most in your swing when you're playing in the wind?
I mean, you just got to control the golf ball. So that's controlling spin and trajectory. And a lot of times you're not hitting very many full shots just because, when you hit a full shot, the ball will spin more. And then you really, really have to get the wind perfect each time. And if you're hitting a little bit more chippy shots and kind of working the ball, you can kind of manage some of those gusts.
Is today the kind of day where you and Ted give yourselves a little bit more grace in terms of you hit the shot, you try and execute what you can control as well as you can, and like you're just sort of saying, you might not get the outcome that you were looking for.
that's I'd say that's a good way to describe it because you're not going to get every wind right for 18 holes, and if you do, you'll have a pretty great round. But I think having realistic expectations of what we need to do out there, and 17 is a good example on my 4th shot. The second one, tee shot, I hit exactly the way I wanted to. Somehow the wind either stops or goes back because the way my ball was flying, it should have basically gotten to the middle of the fairway, and I end up in the left bunker. Then I catch it a hair fat, and all of a sudden I'm dropping and hitting my 4th shot, and I hit the shot exactly the way we wanted to. And as the ball's flying, you get a gust into the wind, and all of a sudden the ball's not on the green. And if it hadn't gotten that gust, it lands a couple paces behind it, spins back right to it. And so just little stuff like that. You can't get everyone correct, and just do your best to kind of manage your way around the golf course.
Justin was in here right before you talking about how in courses or in conditions like this, it becomes about hitting golf shots. It's a little less sort of maybe methodical about the way that you sort of go about because you've got to take so many things into consideration. Do you agree that with conditions like this, it's a little bit more sort of creative with the way that you hit shots?
Yeah, I would use robotic as maybe the word. It's not as robotic. I think when you playing under no conditions or very light winds, I think you can hit a similar flight on every single shot and it'd be fine. Days like today, you have to work the ball both ways. You have to hit low shots, hit high shots. You're always playing a different type of shot, especially in conditions like these.
And Justin has said some super nice things about you and your game. Is there anything that impresses you about Justin and the way he approaches the game?
Yeah, Justin's a guy that I looked up to from a young age. He was a really talented junior player, talented amateur player, and he had a lot of early success out here on tour. And Justin is an extremely hard worker. I think Justin's more of a practicer than I am. I'm more of I like to play a lot when I practice. With Justin, he is very, very disciplined, I think, in the way he approaches things, and that's why you've seen him have success for so many years out here. He sticks to his process. He doesn't let things kind of get to him, I think, and I think a lot of that goes back to how hard he prepares to come out here and play. He's very, I would say, professional in the way he kind of approaches things.
On 17, is it the wind that's kind of giving you the most problems, or what kind of is it on that hole?
I just don't have an answer for that.
All good.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.